Hey folks, my name is Jaxsun. Today we're going to touch on one of the more enjoyable tank classes to play out there. Now, certainly if you played Brewmaster in BFA, you were used to it just being incredibly OP. And however, you jump over here now into Shadowlands, even at the midway point, and Brewmaster is still a little bit more squishy than we probably wish it was. Um, we still continue to have the major benefits of stagger. So like this is a class that can like easily knock out plus 15 mythic plus keys. So don't sweat that. Let's touch here on the talents really quick. Really where you want to go, you want to go with Eye of the Tiger if you like the passive self heal that comes. It's really minor overall. Or alternatively, you can go with Chi Burst, and that necessarily can heal you, or other, we'll call it group mates that are in the group with you. Chi Torpedo is absolutely fantastic. It allows you some additional kiting speed, which is just one of the absolute strengths of this class. That's why I happen to go with High Mountain for this. Having multiple Chi Torpedoes along with the Bull Rush just allows us to carry a tremendous amount of distance really quick, and then utilize Ring of Peace to let our teammates in the dungeon just take care of business. Now, in terms of tier 3, light brewing is pretty much the go-to. It's absolutely priority. If you're looking to max out your DPS, you can go with Black Ox Brew. However, just for like ease of simplicity, I prefer the light brewing ability there. Tier 4, you've got a couple choices. You can go with Ring of Peace. I always really prefer this, just being able to manage key mobs that are trying to knock you down. Alternatively, summon the Black Ox statue can help you with your taunts or control mobs. And as someone who usually mains a protection paladin who has tremendous mob control right now with the Kyrian legendaries, for me, jumping back over onto Brewmaster was a pretty stark reawakening of how hard it is to like maintain priority here with our provokes. Bob and Weave or Healing Elixir can be used. Dampen Harm if you need it for an additional cooldown. I personally usually like Dampen Harm. I like the purpose of the tanks is one of two things. You need to like sustain the group by being able to take a giant beating, or you need to be able to like contribute materially from a damage perspective to help get down the different mobs and packs that are trying to knock you out. So for me, I've used all three of these in the past. Increasing the duration of stagger is one of the biggest that you can roll with though. Tier 6, you've got two choices. Rushing Jade Wind is what I'd recommend. Just basically increasing the damage you're doing to the different mobs out there, and hopefully you're pushing some big pulls. Alternatively, Exploding Keg can work. Just basically it's our disorient, and on top of like our sweeping leg kick and a few other moves, having another disorient is just incredible utility. So there's lots of fun alternative builds you can go with here. Tier 7, it's pretty much straightforward. High Tolerance is the way that you want to go. Increasing the effectiveness of stagger is absolutely fantastic, and then getting a buff on your haste can't be beaten. Alright, so with that being said, all of the covenants are pretty close for the most part. The Weapons of Order that actually comes with Kyrian is my preferred ability to go with, and that's why I recommend Kyrian. I know when I look on Wowhead, I'll pull up just on their screen now, you're seeing about 65, a little under 65% of the population is leaning towards Kyrian as well. Necrolords making about a quarter of the group, so overall between those two covenants, that's about 90% of the population. You will see, and we'll touch on the specific changes coming with 9.15. Venthyr is getting some significant buffs, and Nightphase is getting a minor one as well, and that's just, I think, to help encourage players to jump over if they're so inclined, but definitely worth checking out. Specifically when it comes to the changes that are happening with 9.15, I mentioned the Venthyr ability Fallen Order, that's getting a fairly significant buff to its overall ability. Um, Effectively, you're producing a equal amount of off-spec adepts, and your adepts now apply Mystic Touch to the different targets that they are attacking. So totally worth it. Need to have either the Fallen Ox, Crane, or Tiger adepts drop by and help you out. So totally worth playing with. I can't wait till 9.15 when we can jump between covenants very easily and take in some of these changes. The Ox Adepts now throw a Follow and Brew at the monk, granting the monk an absorb shield for 10% of your max health for 8 seconds. Tiger Adepts, Tiger Palm damage was increased by 200%, and Tiger Adepts, they also cast the Spinning Crane Kick if there's more than one enemy within range. So Venthyr's going to be pumping a little bit here. I'll be really surprised to see if it comes along. These changes are applicable to both Brewmaster as well as Windwalker. So hold on and let's see what Windwalker's pushing through here. I think additionally what we're seeing specific to Brewmaster is that the talent special delivery now deals 100% more damage. So it's kind of exciting to see they're trying to make this more competitive over here. So we'll see if that pulls us away from Rushing Jade Wind. For me, I'm going to take advantage of this ability. It almost feels passive, and it's on an incredibly quick cooldown. The Ox Adept's Breath of Fire damage is reduced from Fallen Order, so the Venthyr ability, but it now stacks with your own Breath of Fire damage reduction. So totally worth picking up on. It's going to help our survivability. Crane Adepts from the Fallen Order, so your Venthyr ability, now prefer to heal the monk over other friendly targets, and we see some love for Venthyr monks. So crossing our fingers here that they're going to get a little bit more popular than like 3% of the population. Really what it comes down to with 9.15 is like the area of effect caps that were applied to a number of Brewmaster abilities like Spinning Crane Kick and Rushing Jade Wind have all been removed. And hopefully that just really increases the overall damage profile for the class, and we're able to make a substantial jump and improvement in terms of the abilities that we are bringing to the table. Because right now you're not getting a ton of love as a Brewmaster monk, so definitely worth to see what Blizz is going to do here to make the spec a little more popular, because everybody's just running Windwalker right now. From a legendary perspective, there is the legendary Call to Arms, and it's got a bit of a synergy with Forge Light Mechanicos Soulbind trait. So interesting to see how that may play out. Basically it takes our Black Ox and gets the Black Ox, Yulon the Jade Serpent to assist you for 12 seconds. So definitely worth loading up on for additional DPS and survivability. Pretty interesting to see how it all plays out in the next little bit. Overall, they're all just kind of so-so. If you're looking to like maximize your DPS, you want to go with Charred Passions. Mighty Pour is okay from a defensive perspective, if you want to call it that. Basically, Purifying Brew has a 35% chance to not consume a charge, and Celestial Brew now increases your armor by 50%. So that's a pretty substantial buff. If you're really looking to push high Mythic plus keys, that might be an option. Really what it comes down to is like, if you can only push one legendary, you want to go get Storm Stout's Last Keg. It's good from a defensive and DPS perspective, and get it as soon as you can. But overall, it will be a great quality of life improvement for you. So let me know in the comments, folks. Are you going to roll with Kyrian and Necrolord, or is anybody going to jump over and play a little bit of Venthyr in 9.15? What's the popular picks? Are we going to see a comeback for Brewmaster here in Shadowlands as we get towards the end of the expansion, or what's next for the spec? Thanks for checking it out. Drop it down in the comments. Let me know the things I can do better, and I'll talk to you all soon. Later.